At Votiro, we provide a product called Secure File Gateway. In this case, Secure File Gateway for email, the way that it works is an external person would send a message into your organization. The message could have an attachment. It doesn't have to have one. The email itself can be a threat. You can see here that the attachment that is listed does have malware inside of it. It goes through the Votiro email connector before making it into the organization and going into either the on-prem Exchange, Gmail, O365. And the file is being sanitized throughout this process before it even makes it to the mailbox server. So that means that the software is able to sanitize the message and attachments before it makes it to the end user. What you're seeing here is just a quick overview of the Votiro desktop. And what I'm going to do is actually send a real live threat. In this case, it's a wallpaper, but inside of this wallpaper, I embedded a base64 encoded threat inside the metadata of this file. So as soon as this file gets sent and the end user opens up that JPEG, traditional technologies such as AV, sandboxing will not be able to identify this type of threat because of the evasion techniques that were leveraged. But since Votiro is not looking for known bad content, we are only reconstructing that file to make sure that it has only known safe content. So once it goes through Votiro, it's 100% safe. And I'll show you exactly that. So as the message was sent over, first I want to show you the actual payload. And you'll see that here, where if I look at the EXIF data of the file, there's base64 encoded information inside the certificate. This is a fairly new type of attack that's occurring, and a certificate value within a file is unlimited because certificates tend to be larger in size. So this encoded threat on that file is definitely going to execute. That particular threat, what it's able to do is that it launches a PowerShell on the system, and then it will launch that hidden payload. And I'll show you specifically what the payload is doing. Once the system launches the file, it says you've been pawned, and then shows a hacker, and then goes through and puts numbers, binary numbers, directly on the screen. But after Votiro, the file is 100% sanitized, and that's what this example is that you're seeing here. Once I take a look at it, you'll notice that in the meta tag, the certificate field no longer exists in the parameters of this file. So we know that this file has been sanitized by Votiro before it reaches that particular end user. Right away, what you'll see here is the email that I just ended up sending. You'll see that it's who is it coming from, who is it going to, and then all the details around the file itself. You can see that it has an HTML file inside of it, has a JPEG file inside of it. And these little indicators on the files themselves, what you'll notice is that the indicators will show that this passed through. The email passed through, the HTML passed through, the image made it through. But as I just shown you, that image is no longer a threat because we've sanitized it completely before it was received by the end user. And I want to thank you for joining us today on this short session, and we hope to see you next time.